everybody, Lee here. Thank you for watching or listening to this week's episode of Leading with Lee. Today is going to be extremely special because this is the final episode of this season of Leading with Lee. I'm so grateful, man, that you have been watching and going on this journey with me to talk about life and leadership. So let's start out talking about me sharing about those things, life and leadership. Here's some clips from this season of Leading with Lee. See, this is the interesting thing. There's tons of people that speak, but they're not me. They don't have my unique experiences. They haven't lived my life. They haven't done anything. They have not done anything that I have done because they're not me. And what you have to understand in your leadership, whether you're leading a business, whether you're leading an organization, no matter what it is, they're not you because of this valid point. They do not have the same strategy in how they do what they do because it's unique. It's very specific. It's very specific. And as a leader, you have to understand you can't get distracted by what other people are doing because they're not you. They're not you. As I said previously, the thing about Leading with Lee for me did not start in a conversation or a video that happened last spring. It started with processes that happened when I was in high school. I realized that I had a problem with not being confident in speaking. So I set the short-term goal of getting in speech and debate. And that short-term goal of getting in speech and debate led to me being able to speak on a dime, me being able to articulate values, talk about things that I cared about, talk about things that I saw, talk about things that I wanted to accomplish, and talk about different issues that impacted me. And so it started preparing me because now the fact that I'm doing Leading with Lee is a byproduct of a short-term goal I set when I was 15 years old. And now at 26, I am benefiting from that short-term goal of just being on the speech and debate team. Just being on the team. Just learning to do impromptu speaking. Just learning to do things that I did not have the confidence at the time in, but it gave me the ability to be effective when I got inside or when I got into the situation and started doing the things that I wanted to do. It has a price. It is not about adoration. It is not about praise. It is about people. It has always been about people. You can't lead when it's convenient. Leadership is not about convenience. You can't lead when everybody likes you. You have to lead at all times. True leadership is consistent, thoughtful, caring, adaptable, and humble. It is not about getting points because that's not leadership. That's not leadership. It's about you doing the right thing. It is not about money. It is not about power. It is not about your own personal success. We have way too much of that going on right now. People are so concerned about themselves. What we need in our leaders is leaders that care about people. It's always been about people. People are the foundation in which organizations are built. Don't start a company if you don't care about people. Don't run for office if you don't care about people. Don't join in an organization or a community if you don't care about what happens to those people. Don't move into a community if you don't care. Don't waste your time. Don't waste our time. We need you. We need you. We need you to be focused on how can I contribute? How can I do something that will help the people in this community? How can I make other folks' lives better? That's what I want to do. There's a thing that I started saying as a result of one of my best friends having me say this, and I'm just going to give it to you to encourage you. Some of you literally to get up every day and say, I'm worthy of being loved just for being me. Initially, when he had me saying that, and he produces this podcast and blog, and I love him for it, but one of the things that he said that he's forced me to say that over and over again. And one thing I didn't realize was what he was doing was teaching me how to affirm myself when nobody else will affirm me. And I think there are people who might be listening or watching right now. You're asking yourself, how in the world can I do this? Like live life? How can I get up and go to work? How can I be productive? How can I be successful? And I know this episode is about me, but it's intrinsic for me to tell you that one thing that I have done and I've had to do is sometimes when I'm feeling depressed, sometimes when I'm feeling low, sometimes when I feel afraid, I have to say, Lee, you are worthy of being loved just for being you. Not being smarter, not looking different, not coming from a different culture, not being shorter, not being more fit, not being bigger, not being small. Like you are worthy in the present moment for just being yourself. Right now you're worthy. Not something you have an aspiration for. Man, that was so awesome that I got to share with you some of my thoughts about life and leadership. But even more awesome is the fact that I got to bring on some amazing people on this season of Leading with Lee. People that had so much more experience and exposure and actually taught me a lot throughout the process. And so now we're going to see some moments where I engage and have conversations with some of my friends and people that I've met over the years as they share about life and leadership and different things that they're doing in their space. Watch this.
And I always encourage people, don't stop pursuing your passion because you work a 9 to 5. You do have to be intentional with your schedule. Now, I talked to a wise person that is in their lane. They're doing way more things, more influential than I am. And I had a meeting with him and he said, Megan, if you don't have a schedule for yourself, you're going to always be on somebody else's schedule. You need to set your weeks up. What are you going to do on Mondays?
Yeah.
What are you going to decide to do on Tuesdays? Okay, you have your consultation meetings with people. Always have them on Thursdays. I mean, you need to set your own schedule. You know what I mean? So this past year, that's what I've been doing.
Oh, that's so
if you want to meet with me, what time can you meet on Thursday?
Yeah.
So I know in my mind, Thursdays are going to be my long day. But I take off on Friday because I have to have a Sabbath day. Even though I work my 9 to 5, I don't do any client work. My office is closed on Friday. So I keep that balance.
Intentionally get to know your employees. You want to know what drives them. You want to know what strengths they have. And what better than me to sit down with you, Lee, and say, Lee, what are your strengths? What do you love? What empowers you?
Yeah.
What drives you? What challenges you? What makes you grow? And then my question back to you, because I have a responsibility to say, how can I help you?
Yeah.
How can I help you grow?
That's so true.
How can I challenge you?
Yeah.
How can I support you? So, we can do strength finders and we can do some assessments and we can look at job descriptions and position specific competencies. You can do all of those technical things, but again, it comes down to getting to know the employees and your colleagues and your coworkers, because I feel like everyone in this organization is my coworker.
A lot of people don't understand different people's perspective.
Yes.
Because they have never came into the house of somebody else's that don't look like them. Like not just I do, like a lot of I have some friends, even I went to Colorado with some of my close friends and they're white. And we had conversations of like, I've never seen this point. Can you help me understand?
Yeah.
Why is this? But if you don't have somebody in your life who don't come from the same culture, same background, doesn't look like you, I don't think you have the space to sympathize and understand.
Right.
Where people, and that's why I think a lot of people in our world are far left and far right because they don't have anybody in the middle to give them handles.
But you know what I'm saying? I don't know how this is going to work or how should I get in contact with them. But that just gave me so much more encouragement.
Bro, I've learned, and something I'm steady learning, is to own your gift, man. Own the part that you play.
Yeah, that's
because
so
the
good.
thing is, a lot of people need what you have and they don't realize it. And a lot of times we psych ourselves out from what's possible for what we want to do because of our own insecurities. And what we're doing is we're looking through the lens of our insecurities versus the lens of our purpose. When you look at life through the lens of your purpose versus the lens of your insecurities, nothing can stop the purpose that you have. Because one person's no may be another person's yes.
Yeah.
A prime example with that from the conference was that a person that I originally asked the first year to do it, they told me they couldn't do it. And so the second year, I was like, well, I want to dream bigger. I went back around the second year and asked somebody else. His name was Clifton Talbert, right? Now, the only time Clifton, he's a national, international speaker. He's written books. He actually has a movie they actually made about him that I believe Oprah was in and Felicia Rashad and a lot of other people.
Wow.
But it was a story that he wrote that they actually made a movie about it. But phenomenal person out of Tulsa. I used to work at FedEx Kinko's. The only thing this guy remember about me, right? I was like, I don't know if he remembers me. I used to help him behind the desk at FedEx Kinko's, right? Wow. I remember when he would come in, I would help him make his copies. He would go out and I would be really nice to him. I was always friendly to him. And that was it. But I knew this guy was a phenomenal speaker. So I decided, now here's what's crazy. I wonder if he'd be willing to speak at my conference. This was literally 5 years later, right? I said, you know what? He probably don't remember me, but I don't know if he would actually want to do that. I called up his secretary. I said, hey, Mr. Talbert, my name is Ramon. I don't know if you remember me. I used to help you at Kinko's. He's like, I do remember you because I remember the way you helped me. Wow. And I remember the character in which you did it with. And because of that, I know you're a really good guy. Wow. Yes, I'll speak at your conference for free.
Wow. Man, wasn't that impactful? I'm surely impacted again by their conversations with you. And so lastly, I'm not perfect at what I do here on Leading with Lee, and Kyle will tell you that there are many times where I've messed up. So we're just gonna give you a little treat. You can see right now some of the bloopers and fumbles and failures of yours truly in front of the camera. Watch this. Next space to talk about social.
Jim Carrey, you're the Grinch. Are you the Grinch?
Anyway, okay. Pew, pew, pew. Hit that like button. I will start again. I don't want to be anything other than what I've been trying to be. It's okay. And if you're not taking time to okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And long-term goals. Long-terms. Posting 1, 2, 3.
Cut.
Oh my God. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of Leading with Lee. I am extremely grateful that you've been watching or going this journey with me throughout this year. As we started in March and now we're in November and we're about to go into the holiday season where people spend time with their families. And I just want to say thank you for all your support, whether you watched the video, whether you subscribed, whether you liked the video, whether you shared with people. I am so grateful for your support. And I hope that next season, when you come back and see me, we're going to talk more about life. We're going to talk more about leadership, and you're going to realize that you can make a difference in the world. And so I hope that you enjoy your time with your family. Much love, and let's continue to do this thing, y'all. Let's keep getting started. Yeah.
That's a wrap.
Let's go, man. Woo!
Please don't fall. I don't know how we managed to make this apartment look so good.
Man, I don't know either. I give you all the credit.
Yeah. Thanks.